It's all ready. So Pam, go ahead anytime. So please welcome Pamela. Bell.
Woohoo! Okay. All right, guys. Today we are going to do a presentation. It's only going to be about Noni today because of the two things. One, both of the products, because of their just the amount of information that's contained. I wanted this presentation to be a little bit different than the typical Noni presentation, which is a lot of info heavy. But I want to relay it in a way that has a more direct understanding and impact of what the power of this product can do. Okay, so today we're going to talk about our fabulous Noni fermented. It's an organic fermented juice. It comes from the awesome Noni plant, as you can see there in the video. All right, next slide. Next slide. Okay, there you go. Did you know that globally 1 in 5 deaths are associated with poor diet? In 2017, 11 million deaths were associated with a poor diet with, I'm trying to scroll up a little bit more, okay, with cardiovascular disease being the biggest contributor, followed by cancers and type 2 diabetes. So again, let's absorb that again. Globally, 1 in 5 people die because of a poor diet. State of health. As I mentioned before, globally 1 in 5 deaths are associated with poor diet. Go back up. Now go.
Sorry.
A little fast there. There you go. One more. There you go. All right. Typically, many people seek medical treatment as the only way to temporarily resolve the consequences of disease, but medicine does not treat the underlying cause. Therefore, if you simply rely on methods such as medicine or surgery without treating the root cause, I don't see the rest of it there. Basically, you are not addressing the overall effect, and the issue will just reoccur. Slide. There you go. All right. So here we're going to talk a little bit then. If 1 in 5 people are dying because of their diet, then how do we eat? Okay. So how to eat. In order to prevent and cure disease, eating should be considered important. And excuse me. And there are 3 things that you should think about every time you eat. 1, you should not eat unhealthy foods. 2, you must eat what your body is lacking. And 3, you should eat things good for your health. So as you approach how you eat, and as that directly is a correlation to how you live, all of us have bad days. All of us have days, you crave things that are not good for us. But what I'm finding, and just in my own observation, is that these 3 items here are the last thing people consider. Okay, they're considering what tastes good, what's going to make me feel good. Maybe there's some emotion that's driven behind some of the eating, but it's not driven based on what your body needs. People used to tell me years ago that just being around me, they start to quickly learn that I eat to live. I don't live to eat. Very 2 different philosophies, right? I do eat just enough what my body needs, and for me, it's just enough. But also that thought was driven into other factors, and we'll get to some of that as we go on to the next slide. So I want you to think about those 3 things. Okay, because now there's a big word here in the middle of the screen says inflammation, because everything that you ingest in your body, right, is part of your body is going to respond to that ingestion one way or the other. Okay. And what inflammation is part of the biological response of body tissues to harmful stimuli. So, okay. So the harmful stimuli is attacking our bodies even as you sit here right at this moment. It's attacking your hair, your skin, your eyes, and also as you breathe in the air, every cell in your body is being impacted by all of the free radicals that are out in the air. Okay, so so you look at inflammation. So as your body is taking it in, you're going to see another slide that sort of shows that a little bit more visually. Okay, your cardiovascular system is being impacted. Your bones, your muscular and skeletal diseases are being are being brought on by what you are ingesting. If you have chronic implementation, meaning so you're just constant swelling, there's constant pain. You've got diabetic complications, and then of course the big one, cancer. These are all chronic issues that are being exacerbated by what we eat. Okay, on to the next slide. So in reducing the inflammation, let's talk a little about how we can get it down. So when you don't eat healthy, don't get enough exercise, or have too much stress, the body responds by triggering inflammation, says Dr. Pitus, MD, an internal medicine physician at Scripps Clinical in Carmel Valley, California. Chronic inflammation can have damaging consequences over the long term. So the food you eat, the quality of sleep you get, and how much you exercise, they all really matter when it comes to reducing inflammation. So if you see the lady here on the screen on the left-hand side, you can see, the back pain. You may know people that have chronic back issues, or maybe you're experiencing some of those issues yourself. On the lower left hand of your screen, you're going to see a woman holding her gut. This is something that I see a lot with individuals there, because of their eating, their gut is just flipping out. So then they're grabbing the Pepto-Bismol or any other pill or something like that to reduce the pain. Okay, that's being caused because the stomach is being inflamed because of what has been ingested. Okay, on to the next slide. So you see here, I think because of the PDF, you don't really get the video. But inflammation, swelling, which is part of the body's natural healing system, helps fight injury and infection. Right. So just remember, anytime you guys have gotten injured, you say you knock your knee or arm against something, then it swells up, right? Immediately swells up. Well, that swelling, right? You see how the tissue here, you got the top layer of the skin and the muscle on the knee. Well, that swelling is a response to the impact, right? So you typically put some ice on it or certain things to take the swelling down. That is the stimuli that I'm referring to. That's the inflammation. So inflammation response can also occur when the immune system goes into action without injury or infection to fight. So what happens sometimes that when your body is constantly, dealing with inflammation, even if you, decide, okay, I'm going to take a day off and maybe eat well, your body is still responding to that, always have to responding to fighting off that inflammation, so that really your pain really never goes away. The issue really never goes away. Okay, on to the next slide. Okay, now this here I thought was very, very powerful, and many of us who are getting up there in age can certainly attest to this. Beginning with the sixth decade of life, so when you start to get into your 60s, the human immune system undergoes dramatic aging. Related changes which continuously progress to a state of immunosenses. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. The aging immune system loses the ability to protect against infections and cancer and fails to support appropriate wound healing. So if you know anyone, I certainly like myself, at the age of 57, almost 58, one of the things that I really fear the most is injuring myself. Only because I look at individuals who have been older than me, and anytime they've injured, that the recovery is never the same. And this is why, because when you start getting your 50s or 60s, your body cells do just a dramatic breakdown, right? And it just doesn't have the ability to heal itself the way it used to. On to the next slide, please. So immunosenses, the aging of the immune system is called immunosenses and is characterized by a decline in the immune system ability to respond to pathogens and cancer cells. This decline is caused by a number of factors. Okay, the reduced production of B and T cells in the thymus and bone marrow, diminished function of mature lymph nodes in secondary lymph node tissues, the T cells responding less quickly to antigens, fewer white cell blood cells capable of responding to the new antigens, smaller amounts of complement proteins, and antibodies becoming less able to attach to antigens. So this, the bottom here is probably not going to move, but there's a movement in that cell that shows you how that process is, because as you're aging, the cells are just not strong enough to fight the antigens in the in all the free radicals that are out there. On to the next slide. So, what is Noni juice? That's what we're here to talk about. So now that we see that, now you're hearing that, as you're sitting here, your body is under attack, right? Just from a lot of environmental factors and possibly what you've eaten. So what is Atomy Noni juice? It's a fermented Noni juice made from 100% Noni fruit from Vietnam with no added water. It is fermented with over 1,440 hours of aged twice product. And so with the addition of coconut sugar and an AON CD syrup. On to the next. We'll get to that. So as I mentioned, our Noni is a 100% organic NFC Noni extract. It's a premium blend of Noni extracts full of rich nutrients. I'm going to go in a little bit here. We have our own farm, right, where we farm our own Noni plants, and we have a farm there in Java Island, Indonesia. It is, like I said, enriched nutrition through 1,440 hours of fermentation, and it's created through joint research with a government-funded research institute. So Noni is also referred to as the gift of God because it contains plenty of beneficial substances. So proxenine, polynoices, and aerojoids. The premium Noni extract made even tastier with the addition of an organic coconut sugar, a healthy in addition to your daily routine. So if I am kind of new to the Noni juice family, I think I've tried some years ago and it was just awful. Never wanted to touch it again. So I was pleasantly surprised when I had a sample of our Noni juice at our convention, and I said, "Oh my goodness, I think I can do this." Right? Because that's one of the things is you even if it's healthy for you, if you're not able to pass the palate test, and most people are just used to something that tastes flavorful, it's going to be tough to take this down. But Atomy has done an amazing job making sure that we can actually get all of these nutrients in by making it taste great. On to the next slide. So there's 200 kinds of beneficial phytochemicals from Noni. So the phyto is the plant side of it, and the chemical obviously is the chemical, which are the minerals. Okay, so there's 7 types of minerals. So we got calcium, magnesium, iron, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and molybdenum. We have 18 types of amino acids. I certainly am not trying to pronounce a lot of those words, but they're awesome. And there's 12 types of vitamins in this Noni plant. Vitamin A, vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene, folic acid, thymosin, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, and biotin, all contained in this powerful Noni juice product. On to the next slide. Oh, on to the next. On to the next to get next. It's next. There you go. So I want to just, kind of break down when we talk about the power of the fruits and the vitamins in here. Taking just a dose of our Noni juice has the equivalent of eating 143 kiwi, 140 tomatoes, and 121 lemons. That is powerful. Okay, each of those items alone is going to give you just above average base to your nutrition, right? But now we're combining these things, right? We're combining the effect. Look at this. We have 120 times more flavonoids, in which we know those are your plant-based materials. That's a huge advantage. The number iridoid types of food, we've got 19 of those. We're far more than blueberry and far more than cranberry and Japanese coleum cherries. Far more types of these. I love blueberries. I mean, love, probably one of my top 1 or 2 fruits. And because I knew they were really high in antioxidants and so forth. Well, I mean, as you can see, there's no comparison to the Noni product. And Noni also contains 40 times more ixorian than pineapple, which was once believed to be the certain that, you know, pineapple had the most type of that particular product. So again, heavy nutrient rich product and vitamin rich product that are combined to give you a real powerful immune building shield that you'll need for your bodies. On to the next. As I mentioned before, Noni undergoes 1,440 hours of fermentation and 2 hours of aging. That way, anyone, young and old, can ingest this product. And I realized that extra hours of fermentation was critical because it helped control, I think, the amount of phosphates that are in your body. And if you're having too much, could actually injure you. So making sure that it is properly fermented, right, so that we get the maximum benefit of the product. And combining that with the coconut sugar and the ANC syrup, I mean, you've got just a incredible product there. On to the next. On to the next. Oh, to the next. Yeah, this one here. Those were, well, that is going to be it, guys. Thank you. Nope. On to the next. Those were hidden slides in my presentation, but they got included in the PDF. But that is what I wanted to conclude. And thank you for your time and listening to my presentation on the Noni fruit. And I would love to hear your feedback and what you thought.